Hello everyone, welcome to THLGK. The power of conviction compels you. The power of conviction compels you. Well, I know it doesn't go like this, but while they are pretending they are exorcising these imaginary creatures, I'm here exposing the things they created to possess our minds, to take control over us. And today we are going to be talking about conviction as a manipulation tool. Let's get to it. Well, let's start by defining what conviction is. Because I'm using conviction as certainty. And my point is, when used as certainty, conviction is a manipulation tool. So a brief search on Google's AI on Google will give you this AI overview. Conviction is the state of being free from doubt, representing an unshakable, deeply held belief or firm persuasion that something is true, often without needing external proof. While certainty can imply objective, evidence-based truth, conviction is an internal, passionate certainty rooted in personal values, intuition, or faith. It's a good enough definition. You should check out other sources. But here is the thing. Is that a problem in and of itself? No, as I said, you can believe whatever you want. I've been saying that since, I think, the first video. You have that right, and no one should be able to take that right away from you. So, that's one thing. The other thing is, and where I have a personal problem with it, is when usually institutions, religious institutions, try to pass something that is a conviction as if it was a certainty. Here, conviction is an internal, meaning subjective, passionate certainty rooted in personal values, intuition, or faith. That's okay. If you say, I believe crystals, and that crystals work for curing diseases, it's your conviction. But when you try to make that conviction into a certainty, when you try to imply its objective, its evidence-based truth, then conviction is being used as a manipulation tool. This is the problem, in my opinion. Kept separately, there will be no problem. As I said, let me repeat this. I only have a problem with religion, with the abominable approach, with the religious approach, because it's not honest. It tries to deceive, manipulate us. That's the problem. That's what happens when conviction is used as a manipulation tool. Now, let me give you an example to try and clarify this. On episode 6, I talk about hypotheses, theories, and facts, how the scientific process works. And all starts with a question. And we have a very important question today. Was Jesus a historical figure? The intent of the question is to know if Jesus was a real person, if he existed. To that question, we then have two hypotheses. Yes, Jesus was real. Or, no, Jesus was not real. Now, they have to start gathering arguments and evidence so it can advance into a theory. The problem is, there isn't enough. So, if you ever hear someone tell you Jesus was real, they are applying, knowingly or unknowingly, conviction as a manipulation tool. Because saying Jesus was real is, again, in this definition, an internal, passional certainty, in this case rooted on faith. It lacks objective, evidence-based truth. In a way, it's a lie. Because you are saying something that is not factual. Now, if someone were to say Jesus is not real, it's the very same. They are trying to manipulate us. Because there isn't enough evidence to say he wasn't real. The question has been unanswered to this day. We don't know, and I mean we as collectively, right? If Jesus was a real person or if he wasn't. It's still in the hypothesis phase. It didn't even become a theory yet, because there isn't enough evidence to support it. So, you see, this is why I have a problem with religion, because it's not honest. If they would just say, when someone asks, well, is this real? Did this happen? If they would just say, we don't know, but we believe it did. You see, this is the difference. You can believe whatever you want. It's not factual if it's not factual. And I'm not even saying that what you believe is not factual. At this point, we don't know. You choose to believe he did. Okay. But they can't do this. So, they use conviction as certainty. This is the manipulation tool. This is the core of this video. When something we don't know is used as a fact. And again, if an atheist uses the he didn't exist, it's the same thing. Now, if you were to ask me, I'd say I'd go all in on, yes, Jesus was a historical figure. But here's the difference. This is a bet. It's like you are in a casino. You go all in, but there is the possibility you are going to lose and leave empty-handed. And this is exactly the case here. Even if I say I'd go all in, I'm aware I could be wrong. I think there are good arguments to sustain the position that he was a historical figure. But we don't have evidence for it. So, as you can see, and again, don't believe me, go check it out for yourselves. Reality is much more complicated than what they want us to believe. The only fact we have is that with the previous example, is that we don't know which is real. But those who want to manipulate us will pick one of the two and say, oh, this is real, without a single objective, evidence-based truth. And of course, that happens much more within the religious discourse. So, just go look at a religious operative, someone who's talking about religion from a religious perspective. They assume the existence of Jesus as a fact. And it's not even a theory yet. And that's the moment we're talking about here. That's when conviction is used as a manipulation tool. Because they are trying to make you believe the same thing they do, the same factless reality, without a single evidence-based truth. They want you to believe, they want us to believe, right? That is reality. In simpler terms, they want us to believe a lie. As I said in the beginning, what I want to do, the extent of what I do in this channel, is to expose this. I was playful in the beginning with the compels you part, because that's what you see them using as exorcisms and things like that. But not even that I'm trying to do, because again, I don't believe you can exorcise religion out of anyone. So, I do what I can, which is showing you how the religious operatives, how religion itself works, how it tries to pass hypotheses as facts, how to try to pass the unknown as reality. Again, if they were just honest, if they were just to say, well, there is no historical evidence for the existence of Jesus, but I choose to believe he was real. It's over. There's nothing you can say about this. I mean, there's nothing you should say about this, because you can choose to believe whatever you want. But again, that's an honest person. They said, there is no historical evidence. There is none. But my choice is to believe. My choice is to think it happened. But we don't live in a society that accepts that at face value anymore. We are in a fact-based society. We want facts. We want to fact-check this. We want evidence. And when you start to show religion for what it really is, in a lot of things not knowing, then it erodes its power, its influence, its effectability. That's their problem. And that's why I believe they must engage in manipulation, deceit, even lies to get you to believe the same baseless, factless hypothesis at best. That's it for today, everyone. We've managed to talk about the second manipulation tool, conviction. That's very much par with authority when it comes to usage by the religious operatives and institutions. But always remember, not only by them. Conviction is a very interesting thing, in my opinion, when it's used as a manipulation tool. Because it's a very effective tool to convince us to believe the same things they do. Because when they speak, we think they're talking facts. By using conviction as certainty, that's the appearance we get. But, as we saw, that's not how reality works. So as always, keep an eye out. Always be on the questioning side. If you hear something, again, if my advice is worth anything, if you hear something that carries that much certainty, don't dismiss it. But go look for yourself. Analyze the construction of the argument, point by point. Because this is what I believe. If religion was true, if they were correct, they wouldn't need to manipulate us, to try and deceive, to lie to us. Because if you have truth on your side, you don't need any of that. So, as always, check it out for yourselves. And now, if you like this episode, please consider liking it, subscribing, sharing it, checking the other social media, as of now mostly X, where I'm writing companion articles to the videos. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.